Ever notice how some people love being around you, but you always feel tired afterward? Well, they don't really hate your light, they feed on it. Have you ever heard the term emotional vampires? The topic comes up probably fairly often with INFJs because of our empathy and how we feel the energy from others, and it's kind of an unavoidable issue that we have. INFJs and empaths often attract emotionally needy or toxic people because of this. So you're a safe space. That's how you want to sort of keep this in mind and look at it. They feel seen and understood with you, but it comes at your own expense. So these energy vampires that we deal with don't always look evil. Sometimes they're just deeply unhealed and in need. So how do you recognize energy drainers? Well, you'll probably feel anxious, heavy, or empty after spending time with them. Conversations are one-sided and always about their problems. They love your advice, but never change their behavior. You start to feel guilty when you set boundaries. These are all signs that you're around an energy drainer or energy vampire. So, why do INFJs and empaths attract them? Well, INFJs, empaths, you radiate compassion, depth, and calm energy. It's magnetic to those who are wounded. You naturally want to heal and help, but that's what makes you a target at the same time. The people who drain you subconsciously crave your emotional stability. So here's some of the warning signs. You begin to feel resentment or exhaustion, even thinking about that person. You're doing all the emotional labor in the relationship. So this could be a man-woman relationship. This could be father-son, mother-daughter, mother-son, any relationship. You catch yourself avoiding calls or texts because you know it'll drain you. So again, if you're feeling anxiety at just the thought of that person or the worry of having to communicate with them, deal with them, be exposed to them, then warning sign, you may be dealing with an emotional vampire in your life. So, okay, now that we've kind of defined what this is, having an emotional vampire, somebody who's sucking the energy from you on a regular basis, and we kind of know what the warning signs are, here's how you can protect your energy. Awareness is your armor. So just the fact that we're talking about this, that you're being more aware and ready to handle it when it comes and not be surprised by it or off guard, that awareness is, like I said, your armor. That is part of your protection. Just on a day-to-day basis, being aware of it and being ready for those times. And so the moment that you name it and recognize what it is, you've already reclaimed some of your power and your energy. Now this is a really important one. This is one that I've learned myself many times. I'm still learning it, but it's one of those things that with time and practice, it gets better. And that is setting boundaries of any kind, whatever those are to you, whatever you need those to be between yourself and the world and other people, those are sacred and important because you want to be able to learn to listen to others and be around others without absorbing those feelings, that sadness, the anger, whatever it is that's coming your way, and just not absorb it, not take it personal, be able to flick that switch and do what you need to do. And then, of course, it should be said, you should limit your availability to people who are consistently draining your peace. Granted, there are sometimes some family relationships, work relationships, where we don't always get the luxury of just, well, I'm not going to see that person today. I don't want to. I get it. There's no simple answer. I would just say, pray about it, think about it. Maybe there's certain things you can improve in your day-to-day life so that you're not exposed to it so much. But if you have the option, sometimes you do, just no contact. Just remove that person from your life. I mean, we're talking about the worst case scenario, right? If all you're getting from that person is just them draining you, and it's all about them, and it's a one-sided relationship, then yes, absolutely. You should not feel guilty to take back that time, that peace in your life. Time is a precious commodity on this earth, as we all know. And you only get one today to live your life and live it for God, live it for the people who matter to you most. We should not feel guilty about using that time wisely, as simple as that. So then, talking about the empowered INFJ shift or empath shift, you can be kind to others without being a doormat. Your empathy is a gift, not a weakness, but it must be guarded because it is so powerful and you're so susceptible to these kinds of energy vampires, people sucking the energy and the joy from you. So start surrounding yourself more with people who refill your energy, not deplete it. And it might be through text or videos. INFJs and empaths, and introverts, we typically don't want to be around a lot of people all the time. So you may have to do that for work or activities you want to do. Maybe it's church events, family get-togethers. And yes, so do that, but you have to also have that time that you're isolated and you have time to recharge and all of that too. So I think that's mostly what I wanted to cover. Let me do a few shout outs here before I finish it up. Hello, Elaine Jameson, Glorious SCP, Batman. Can I do this riding on my bike, you mean? I try sometimes, but yeah, it's hard to cover topics as well when I'm multitasking. Danielle Berry Sports Highlights. Hey, welcome. Hello, everyone. Oops. And Irma. And yeah, since you mentioned that's why you're alone now, introverts, empaths, INFJs, we've all, I think, had the misconception or the stereotype thrown at us that being alone is bad and you need to be around people and everything. And while there is some truth to that, we're not designed like the extrovert and those who refill their energy and their peace from being around people. We need that isolation time. So it's one of those things I'm never going to say you should all do it like this, because we're all created uniquely and differently. However, like I said, one of the first things is awareness. You have to be aware of your own needs, how much time you can spend with people, how much time you need alone, and recharge, and look to God for those answers. When you can't figure it out, pray, and God will show you what you need to do in time. But so closing thought here, and then I'm gonna wrap it up, is you don't have to shrink yourself to keep others comfortable. Take care of your self-esteem and confidence in yourself that they're not more important than you. You don't need to lower yourself to be their emotional sponge and everything like that. No, if it's a good relationship, it should be a two-way street. And protecting your peace doesn't make you selfish. It makes you wise. And if that person, those people are really meant to be in your life, they will respect your boundaries. Whoa, how about that concept, right? So that's why I keep saying it's a two-way street, because you should not have to give everything. And I have experiences, I've had recent experiences with some people in my own family about this. And I've talked before about the false teaching that blood is thicker than water, and that when it comes to family, we should just somehow just accept it and deal with those people our whole lives and waste hours, days, weeks, years of time just because they're our family. But yeah, if they're truly toxic and it's all about them, that is not a biblical concept that we should just keep giving to people like that. We can love them, we should pray for them, but should they be our besties in life? No, because respect and love is a two-way street. And so it is biblical that we pay the most attention to, spend the most time with those who are respectful and loving to us in our time and who we are. So I'm trying to keep these within about 10 minutes. It's really hard to do, but hello, Colin. So welcome to you all. Welcome to all the new subscribers. As I typically do in INFJ style, I'm just going with the flow, trying to keep these INFJenius Unfiltered vlogs, streams, topics, just as authentic, real, and useful as possible. So I'll keep them going. We'll keep growing our community here. And I'm always open to new topics or anything that you guys are going through because I've probably been there, done that in my own life. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this channel in the first place, is just to share the stories, lessons learned that I've had over the years. So you probably can't name too much that I haven't dealt with before in my own life. And so it's really just my pleasure to share it back with you all and help any way I can. So thanks, Elaine, Irma. Thank you all. And I'm going to wrap it up there. I'll see you again soon. So make sure you're subscribed, and you'll see more shorts pop up from some of the topics that I cover in these videos. And maybe that can be a little bit of encouragement too for you, for whatever you're going through. Shorts, more lives, more videos. And I got plans for more interesting topics and just things. I'll leave it at that, coming soon. And going into Christmas, New Year's, which is only a couple months away if you're watching this right now when it's October. But I will see you all again soon. So thanks and God bless. See you next time.